Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. All right, so in yesterday's or last night's video, should I say, we had this big fall to the downside all the way down to around 0.347, somewhere around there. And then we started getting support right here and we started bouncing to the upside. I was wondering if we were going to hold support and start actually going back up. But the other thing I was looking at last night is in last night's video, we have resistance. Let's go ahead and use those 2 points as a trend line, something like that. And as you can see, that resistance is where we're getting resistance right now, and it's kind of pushing to the downside. I have a limit order set at 0.33823. We came down after last night's video and got so close to that limit order. I didn't get it filled because if you zoom in, we came down and touched the line. If I would have had my line at the actual retracement level, then it would have worked. And that level is actually at 0.33896. So around 0.339, let's say. 339 would have been a lot better spot. But it looks like we are having trouble and we are pushing to the downside. I still have my limit order at 0.33823. Let's see if we can come down and hit it. It looks like we're getting a red candle. Let's see if we can come down, hit that real quick. Maybe we could get a bounce right here at that Fibonacci retracement level, or maybe we fall to the bottom. I think if we break the limit order that I'm talking about, 0.33823 decisively, like if we really start pushing to the downside, I think a reasonable target would be the next Fibonacci retracement level sitting at 0.294. And I'm getting these levels from the Fibonacci retracement chart or levels from, we had a big run. Once we think we hit the top or we think we're going to get a correction, we get the Fibonacci retracement tool, drag from the bottom of the run to the top of the run, and then that gives us those levels that I'm watching and I'm talking about. So we have, so it kind of, this is like, as you would say, 100%, and then you would 23% down, 38% down, 50% down, 61% down, 72% down. So this would be the top of that, and then this down here would be 0% or the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense. So like, let's say you come up and then there's a correction. A lot of times, like a 50% correction is totally reasonable, and that's what we did pretty much here. So like I said, we had trouble up here. I took some profits and then I started setting up limit orders. I was saying that the 50%, the 38%, I did a small one right here, and if you guys have been watching for a while, I said I'm going to do a small one here, a medium one here, and a large one here. We came down, filled all three of them, and then right at that, we dipped a little bit below, but we bounced above it. And then what I've been talking about too is that I want to see us bouncing in between these two, these two lines, but these Fibonacci retracement levels in general. And that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, would you agree that, like we filled our limit order and then it came up from here, and then right at this level it came down. I was hoping that we'd get it filled. We didn't, but we kind of hovered in that area, went back up, and that area, this Fibonacci retracement level acted as resistance right here. We came down, acted as resistance again. Once we actually did break it, we got green candles. Came up to the next one, red resistance, and then sideways, went down, and then that's where we're at right now. We're testing this Fibonacci retracement level. Are we going to bounce on it, or are we going to fall and go to the next one? Because if we fall, if we break through it, the next one is what I'm looking at. You could argue that we had this bottom right here, the support down here that didn't like take us to that bottom, because I sold up here. I keep on talking about it, but I just wanted to use it as an example of how it doesn't always perfectly work. I sold right here. I thought it was going to come back down. Didn't happen. Yeah, I thought yesterday it seemed like we were breaking out here. I added some to the position. Didn't happen. Coming back down, I still have my limit orders down here because I did risk management. I didn't put everything right here. I was confident. I wasn't confident, but I was my intuition was saying that it's probably going to, it might dip, you know what I mean? And be ready for that as well. And besides, I'm trying to accumulate if I could accumulate as cheap as possible, that'd be ideal. So yeah, this is my next limit order, .33823. It looks like we're really close. Like I said, last night we were really close to it, and that's just a lesson that I need to probably use too, is that instead of doing the exact Fibonacci retracement level, excuse me, instead of doing the exact level, do right above it. Yeah, I think that's about, watch 1 second. I just need some water. Yeah, it looks like we're coming down though, and it looks like we're about to, I don't know, we'll see if it breaks through it or if we get support on it like we did right here. Maybe we'll do support, and then break through that trend line that I was talking about where we have resistance. Resistance, basically, this trend line we're watching, if it breaks it going to the upside, then we can say, then we can start thinking, okay, maybe we're going to come back to this level up here. And that's what I'm talking about when I say I kind of want it to bounce in between these trend lines, or the Fibonacci retracement levels. Something, I mean, if we go all the way down to, even if we come down, like I was just saying, even if we break this one, excuse me, I just woke up. Even if we break this one and come down here, hit that limit order, that'd be great. If we start coming down here and we start breaking these trend lines though, then we might be looking at more of like a bear market. Like if we broke, like, okay, so we have support. I mean, it could just be a dip, but if we have all those supports giving us this trend line right there that I was outlining. I messed it up. So we have this trend line right here. If we break that one going to the downside, then we might be looking at a bigger, then we could probably start, I don't know, get more confident on it going even further down, because that, I mean, it'd be a signal anyways. But I would be looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels in general. Last time we went all the way back down to the actual bottom at 8 cents. Where is it? Let's go back. Let's go to the daily. From the last pump. So we had this big huge run last year. Then we started coming down, bouncing on the Fibonacci retracement levels here and there, bouncing in between the, like I said, getting support on them, getting resistance on them, came all the way down, hit 8 cents. That's when we started a huge run though. So we came all the way down to the bottom. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying that's, it's possible. These are the next levels that I'm looking at going to the downside if that continued to happen. That's kind of interesting. We haven't really been watching the moving averages, have we? Let's take a look at that real quick. I'm just going to delete all that because as we know, or maybe we don't know, we're looking at the 9 moving average right here, this blue line right here. And as you can see, sometimes the price is below it and sometimes the price is above it. When it goes below it, when we break that line, that green line going to the downside, like the price was coming along on top of it and then it broke it going to the downside. Once we do that, then when we come into contact with it, a lot of the times it gives us resistance, and then pushes us to the downside, or just in general it's a bearish sentiment or a bearish signal, should I say, or I don't know how you say it, but it's bearish basically. It's leaning bearish. It makes you lean a little bit more bearish. It's like a piece of the puzzle that's kind of either bullish or bearish. But if we're under it, bearish. If we're above it, that's bullish. Boom. So when we're above it, then when we come into contact with it, we find support and it pushes us to the upside. Right now, we did just break below the daily 9 moving average with this candle right here. Not only did we go below it, but we formed the next candle and we're continuing to be red. Let's see what happens with this candle today. Are we going to break back above the 9 moving average? Or actually, you know what also could happen? We could just be in here a couple days and then break back above it. But being below it in general, like I was just saying, is a bearish. It's bearish. I don't know how to talk today. Sorry. But yeah, what we want to do is break back above it. And a lot of times what happens is we'll break below it like we just did. And then over some time, like maybe go down. And then this will form something like this. What we want to do, I mean, it could even just do something like this, and we could just do this. But what we want to do, this line needs to form, and then we want to break through it. Once we break through it, that's a bullish signal right there. Boom. A nice trading signal. Like right here, we broke above the 9 moving average. Right here on the daily time frame, specifically on the daily, if you want to, I mean, this works best in the daily, in my opinion. I mean, it works on all of them. It's just on the daily, it's really nice, because then it's, yeah. You could do it on the 4 hour, the 1 hour too, though, probably. Let's see. Okay, so we have this break. We broke the 9 moving average right here, then that blue line. Start to break above it. Boom, bullish signal. Then we started having trouble, and then we started coming down. So let's see what happens. We broke through it, going to the downside right now. Let's take a look at like the weekly. Oh, that's maybe why. Because if you look at the weekly 9 moving average, we just got rejected by that, which is kind of interesting, because that was what was making us, like, I feel like that was what was really pushing us up this last little run. We broke above it right here. We were getting support on it right here. Huge takeoff. And back here, same thing. Let me just draw it out so you can see it more clearly. Something like this. Because we broke above it right here. Support pushing us to the upside. Big, huge run. Whoops. Got rid of it. Or something like that. Broke below it right here. We stayed under it. Had trouble. Resistance to the downside. Pushing us down. Broke above it right here. And then that's when when we stayed above it, that's when we really started taking off. On the weekly, this is the weekly time frame. 9 moving average is what I'm focusing on right now. I'm just saying that right now we are below the weekly. We did break below it. So we broke below it right here, been under it, having trouble breaking back above it. We might have to do something like this and then like that, like I was saying. So this, and then plus is a weekly. Each one of these candles is a week, so it's going to take forever to develop unless we come straight back up. Right, it's sitting at .38447. If we could break above that, then at this point, then we might get a huge move, but I don't. What I like to see happen, like I was just saying, is I like to see it come down a little bit, follow the price, and then the price go into it sideways, as opposed to trying to hope that it goes into it from the bottom. Like there's like a roof, and then you're trying to break through the ceiling, as opposed to breaking through a wall. You know what I mean? Going sideways. So that's just what I'm thinking. But yeah, these 9 moving averages are handy, and it's another good sign to tell you what might be happening. Like this, we're on the daily time frame, like I said. We have this big red candle, broke it to the downside. We're getting another red candle. This looks kind of bearish to me. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually came down to this one now, to .294. But I have limit orders on both of them, and I'm going to keep both of them. .33823 and .294. Let's see what happens, though. I mean, unless this holds support and bounces to the upside, let's see what's up on the 4 hour time frame. I mean, you never know. Sometimes they get little bounces and then little fake outs. I think that about does it, though. You guys know my limit orders and what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna. I have my limit orders here. That's where my money's at. And yes, I did put a little bit more here, but it's all good because I'm trying to accumulate. That actually was, even because it was like 5% down. I think I took profits here, so it was still like 5% off of what I sold it at, even though now we're going down. But whatever. Let me know what you guys are thinking, though. If you guys like the video, like me doing 2 videos a day. This is day 3. Hopefully let's see if I can make a video this afternoon if you guys want it, or if you guys think it's too much, let me know. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to watch last night's video, check it out right here where I talked about some of this stuff. And then if you want to watch this playlist, check it out right here. I'll help you get started with TradingView. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.